Welcome back, guys, to Final Fantasy XVI, where last episode we continued exploring the fields of Karava and hunting marks, slaying the soul stingers and taking down the 9 of Knives, before then giving the lost baker we were looking for some inspiration to complete Use Your Loaf. We then headed over to Lost Wing, where we fended off some encroaching black shields in for great justice, learning more about the circumstances surrounding the village, before trying our hand at taking on the S-ranked Atlas, losing a few bouts, but learning all the while as we continue to fight.
It's just that my dodge, where I felt like I could so easily dodge things before, it's not working the same way it does, is how it feels like to me.
Though it seems this one has a little more life left in it. All right then.
Like that one, I'm trying to block, and it's just not working for me at all.
Help me, boy.
And I've missed the attack.
Nice try.
At least I know he's doing that after that. You know what I mean? It's way too early. Hey, ready for me to mess this one up again? Oh, he went way early. It'd help if I could hit a magic burst or two now, you know? I'm just trying to like throw everything at this guy now. I think I did less damage done than last time.
Too slow.
There's using my iframes properly.
Nice try.
You're tricking me. I thought you were going to do the range attack. Did it go down off that one? Oh, well, I didn't hit the thing. No.
Nice try.
Oh, there's Bernie floor. I'm staying out. I'm quite pleased with the trades we got there. High frames, baby! I'm too far away. No, you got me that time off there. That's annoying, that is. Yeah, you can't come in multiple times here. Okay, you can if you want to. I'll use the high potion instead of potion. Whoops.
Too slow.
Yeah, I'll just parry that. That's fine. That's obviously the correct answer, right? Okay. I see we're both going in now, buddy. I see we're both going for the throat. He's still alive! Yeah! So that was a stark contrast between the three like tries, and then all of a sudden, here we go. That was just such a difference. It was massively different. It was great. I enjoyed that wholeheartedly. Ooh. Orichalcum was obtained. There was a time when orichalcum was so abundant it was used in everything from armor and weapons to coins and cutlery. However, when the twins' only orichalcum mine was finally exhausted, the trading price for the noble metal increased tenfold, causing people to hoard what they had and ultimately making it rarer than even adamantite. We also got fallen iron, despite thousands of years having passed since its forging. I think we've read this one already. Not a single blemish, scratch, nor patch of rust can be found upon this metal surface. As to how it is possible, none can say, and the answer will likely remain lost forever. I enjoyed that. That was ace. Like, I'm really disappointed with the original attempts because, like, I know what you see is you see me just getting hit and me then going, oh, but I hit that at the right time. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I guess it is that, but I'm feeling like, my brain's going, okay, I'm doing this here. And then I just don't get it. And I'm like, huh? So all of a sudden the timing got tweaked. And on that last attempt, you could see I was just knocking it down. I was hitting all my parries, hitting all my dodges. It's just a little tweak in timing. A little bit of a desync, you could say. That was so fun. I want to do that again. Let me go again. And then there's me, like, trying to counter all the attacks while I'm in the middle of the area. It's like, yeah, come on.
It's true.
Come at me. Come get me. Well, our quests are done now. We'll double check that. I doubt there's anything I can make at the moment because we need new recipes. Yeah, lots of X's on the board. Oh, fun fighting. It's one of those things. I am totally not adverse to harder encounters in games, as long as they're balanced for like the game mode. I'm totally cool. Oh, Mid, where are you again? How do we get to you? It's 2 routes. We can go via the rear stacks. As long as it's intended to be hard. And not just like a difficulty level toggle where we just up the numbers. If a hard mode changes like placements, monsters, etc., which I understand that Final Fantasy mode does. Which is what you get after completing the game though. That's kind of fun. I'm all for that, but just inflation of numbers, miss me with that. Miss me with that entirely.
Editors started reading books that don't have
something to read here.
In. Why would anyone want to do that?
Why would anyone want to do that? On a lake lived the queen, a lake lived the queen and the goblins free, but he not did the goblins their queen, and so, full of wrath, did she banish them to shore, where they supped on mud till their lips turned black, and they begged to return. And good of heart, the queen, she did take them back. And where's my way down? Book of Sums. Old Farmer Otto keeps both chocobos and antelopes. After 5 of his stock fell ill, he put them in his barn to rest. However, Otto woke the next morn to discover that a leg eater had found its way into the barn and devoured 3 of the limbs on one of his antelopes. To make certain all remaining legs were accounted for, he did a tally and was satisfied when he counted 13. Question: how many chocobos were in the barn? Wait a second. It's an actual question. 5 of his stock fell ill, he put them in his barn to rest. However, Otto woke the next morning to discover that a leg eater had found its way into the barn and devoured 3 of the limbs on one of his antelopes. He has 13. But chocobos have 2 legs. But it is an antelope with an S. I'm assuming then, if 3 of the limbs were eaten on one of the antelopes, we've got an antelope with 1 leg, but there's antelopes, so there must be 2 antelopes. So that should account for 5 legs. So that means there might be 4 chocobos? Or 2 chocobos, 3 antelopes? What? Can you actually answer that? Am I missing a bit there?
If I don't come up with something soon.
5 animals total. Is that what I was missing? Oh, I'm a fool. Anyway, Mid.
All right, Clive. What do you want?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal...
Displacement stack. Here.
And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen. The Enterprise. Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in. I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Good old Clive. I were hoping you'd say that. First things first, I need some parts meching. The stack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in flames.
A full suit of armor, then? Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
I can't make head nor tail of them.
Luckily, You don't need to.
Does anyone need orichalcum? I have some of that now. Yes, I think this math problem is actually more of a reading comprehension problem. Oh yeah, the 5 of his stock fell ill. He put them in his barn to rest. There we go. That's the number I was missing. So that would make it 2 chocobos. That's the small detail I was missing. Reading comprehension is more important. It really is. Oh my god. I'm going the long way around. Oh. I'm gonna be searching for the high. When's the next S rank? When's the next S rank? Because it forces you to get in a groove, doesn't it? It forces you to get into the actual, like, in the zone. And that feeling is always very nice.
Blackthorn, can I ask a favor?
Out with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. Spare myself the arseache. Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Thermal plating designs. Instructions on how to go about building oneself a full set of thermal plating to dissipate heat from around a mithril engine should one find oneself in need of such a thing.
Krieger's Teats. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy though. And I'll need help. Get Gab and Otto in here, will you?
All right.
So Mid's roped us all in here again, has she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual sword grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very fast, and still keep its shape. That means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at the temperatures she's talking about. Which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out already. You'll have to fetch them. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Valcroy. Stardust, they call it. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up. One of us should probably give you an hand coat in the sand.
And the other can go and get the rest from this supplier.
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where, we can get this over with.
Surely I'm taking Gav. This is only letting off steam 1, by the way.
Up to you who you take to the desert. I mean, Gav's good in a fight, but he don't have my winning personality.
Ah, don't listen to him. You'll be in the lowest of low company with either of us.
Gav's my mate.
You going after the Stardust then, are you? Which one of these 2 lucky souls is going with you?
I could take Otto, but it's Gav.
Gav, you're with me.
All right, then. So, where do we find this Stardust stuff?
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Valcroy. It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
Southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh? That's down past Dalamil. I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring us a wagon to bring the stuff back to.
All right. I'll meet you by the river.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of the stuff from Blackthorn's supplier. Take care.
You two, eh? Don't go letting them fleece ya.
Fleece me? I'd like to see him try.
In your own time.
I just kind of thought that would be the ways they're best set up to do things. Why wouldn't they be?
Sounds like this river we're looking for is south of the Dalamil Inn. I'll hire us a wagon and meet you there.
I'll get us a good price. Is that one you want to worry about?
Too right. Right, where am I off to then? Past Dalamil to the south. It's in this section. Oh, that way. It's not far off from the, town. That ain't far at all. I'll take it. I wonder how often we'll ever have to speak to Labor again. Birds.
Looks like I
Birds
found the
everywhere.
river. Now where's Gav?
Come on, Gavin.
Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this Stardust stuff as we can. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dalamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if Stardust is what Blackthorn wants, Stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of this stuff lying about, just begging to be bagged.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
We shall. Race ya.
I didn't really feel like letting Gav have a day off now. Leaving Gav behind when he's been left behind multiple times before and seemed kind of put out by it.
So this is Stardust. It just looks like black sand to me.
That's only two. We've already passed like the length of the area. Oh god, find me some Stardust. Oh, it's actually further away from the bank. I guess then even sometimes this water does flow stronger than this little river. Quite a bit stronger when you look at it.
That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough. I hope.
Legend has it that a star once fell from the heavens and punctured a hole in the Dalmekian desert, whence sprang forth the fountainhead of the river Velcroy.
Oh, you win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go, do you mind if we have a chat? Feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the Hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you. Right. That's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at someone.
You go on ahead. And try to get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe you me. After Blackthorn gets what he needs, of course.
Right. Ready to go home, boy?
I gotta do my Riverside chat with Torgal now. Don't you understand? Can't just go leaving. My question is, when will new quests pop up from what we've been doing?
Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs.
Probably way more than Stardust, surely. Oh, I haven't heard your song of the day, have I?
Oh, her ship lies still in harbor, her soul sails on the main. The breath of age is at her back, adventure in her veins.
Hey, we couldn't miss our song of the day, surely.
I got everything Blackthorn asked for. How'd it go over in Dalimil?
We had quality time.
All right, Clive. I gave all that stardust to Blackthorn just like I promised.
Blackthorn. Got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. You know, it beats sneaking around on your Todd all the time.
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It will take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
Letting off steam 1 is complete. How many more times do we have to let off steam, I wonder, though? Also like phrases like let on your Todd, like in that sentence quite nicely. It's one that gives you all the context you need to understand what it means, but it's still like, I was gonna say native English. Yeah, it's still slang that works, perfectly fine. We all understand it, right? Do you understand it whether or not you're a UK resident or not?
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
I do like the stuff like that, where the context is just perfectly there for it.
What do I have to eat to
Oh, you're
grow
still
as
saying the
tall as
same
you,
thing.
mistress?
Why did you want me to speak to the amateur Twitcher when I'd already spoke to him twice before? We already know about the legend of Mr. Stilts. Good old Mr. Stilts.
Editors
I
started
have
reading
done
books
it,
that don't
Sid.
have any pictures
I have
in.
learned all the letters. Every one.
Then all the letters. I was reading the books without the pictures. Right, so what's part 2?
If I don't come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
How are you to know that's not her actual name? Just saying, Clive. I mean, it's Helena, but still.
Oh, Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy. Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why, if sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
Why am I prioritizing the quest when it's already the main quest? There isn't another one. Okay, I've got to go back to Lorbert's Pass. It's been a while. Oh, we have actually reached the next reputation marker? Okay. Well, I mean, I may as well get that when I come back rather than go now, because it wasn't anything amazing, if I remember correctly. It wasn't long that we were out here. Yes, these things that have managed to be the perfect shape, size, and everything. How convenient. Just so happens. Alright, with our chocobo friend that I now realise I'm going the wrong way with, we can just ignore the fights. So we will have dramatic music to accompany us on our ride. Do you then also have a way to bind them together so seawater cannot get inside? I'm guessing. To be honest, it might be more that she found some ruins and then started designing the thing around the materials that she knew existed. So therefore, it's not so much that they're right size and shape, etc. It's more... It's a little different, do you know what I mean? It's more everything was built to accommodate it.
Oh, there you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back.
Engine drives propeller, does not get submerged. Then why did we get the whole spiel about them saying if water gets into it, it will all be red asunder? It's on a boat. It's more the warning that there's water all around it and water can get in it is the thing. It needs to be sealed no matter what. In the hopes that we don't get torn asunder by any water getting where it shouldn't do in the midst of battle. Ooh, chest. Oh, it's an Ahriman again.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
Unwanted visitor indeed. Oh, not Doom again.
Nice try.
Oh wait, I remember your spiel.
Soil and stone!
We didn't want water in battleships and all that during the World Wars and all that, but somehow those pesky torpedoes kept puncturing their way into the engine rooms and flooding them. Titan! What are you doing? Okay. It made me walk onto it by trying to attack you then. I'll be that.
The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the Hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
I mean, it's not the hardest thing you've fought lately, is it? God, we're building up lots of rep points. The Eye of the Warrior increases strength tonic duration by 10 seconds. So that's it, is it? To encapsulate everything. Where was that treasure chest, I thought?
Your work is done, Sid. We'll take care of the rest. Let Mid know she'll have her helm very soon.
She can have her helm soon, yeah. I want the treasure chest now, though. It's a meteorite. That'll do. That'll do, mate. Does make you wonder what the actual carcass of the ship's going to be made out of. The hull and the whatnot. At the moment, it's like, we'll go fast, but are we going to be going sturdy? That's what I'm wondering.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
I value sturdy.
is everything we've received and everything promised.
The bearer's plight, 2 meteorites. Few are those who would strive to lighten the burden borne by the crystals cursed, but if we are to survive the coming storm, we must stand together, bearer and brother, as you have shown us, a friend in Northreach.
You earned this.
I think I know who that might be. High Cleric's Medallion, 850 past that. We got 50 for beating the S rank after all. It's not too bad.
I think mid might need some help.
But it does seem the rewards are going to be fewer and farther between at this point. So what part of your engine next?
Soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prism for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've wrapped my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Harpocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Right away.
I thought of that obviously. Hasn't gone and spoke to Tomes herself. Okay. I'm sure that's a normal response.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures.
She's learned all her letters at least. That means the kids haven't learned all their letters. We need to teach them better. How long have they been in education? We have no clue of knowing, right? Torgo just sits there. Such a good boy. I know he likes Charon quite a bit. Charon.
Harpocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive, always.
Well, actually, it's for Mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Thermal shielding designs. A baffling diagram made all the more confounding by the preponderance of questions marks that blemish its borders.
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next? And what are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelisk complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames,
Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragonfire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection Mid requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obolus might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.